All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to our in-person audience. This is the largest in-person audience we've had in a very, very long time. We are coming to everyone on Zoom from Metco headquarters in Roxbury, and we're very excited to be here. We thank everybody who has joined us tonight and everyone online as well. So I will officially call us to order at 7:02. I think we've got all school committee here. So I will ask for anybody that has any commendations today. Sarah, David, Megan, you've got one?
Am I on?
Yes, we're right here.
I really just want to say thank you to the community for coming out to town meeting for 2 nights. And it was a long 2 nights, but I just thought it was great to see so many people take part in our town meeting and who says it, democracy in action. So I just really want to say thank you to everybody.
Absolutely. Thank you, Megan. And I forgot to say, I always like to say this, that we are live on YouTube. I know it gives us the thing on Zoom at this point, but I do want to say that as well. Any other commendations tonight?
I have one.
All right.
Just want to commend Millie and her staff for a very warm welcome to Metco Inc. and a very informative presentation this afternoon, and our Metco families that joined us for dinner and some really great conversation. So thank you to Metco and our families for hosting.
I already told Millie we'll have to come back because we didn't get the full tour. So
I'm previewing all our photos.
Good.
We need more, okay?
So it's been a lovely evening so far. So thank you for those commendations. I will turn this over to Yasin. Yasin, welcome, and you will give us your student update.
Thank you. I wanted to give a couple of shout outs. First to Ella Kramer on her nomination by Salem News for Athlete of the Year, and also to the 6 finalists of the Hunts Photography School Pride Contest and Sailor Crusoe for winning first place. On Wednesday, April 13th, a while ago, 50 MHS Team Harmony volunteers, which is like our inclusion club at the high school, went to veterans to present seminars to 7th and 8th graders. The presentations discussed how to combat all forms of hate. This follows visits to all grades at Village in February and freshman health classes a few weeks ago in March, a while ago. Quarter 4 began on April 11th. Juniors received visits from college admissions officers on April 13th, and there was a financial aid info session on April 26th. The Acapulco concert was on Friday, April 29th at MVMS, featured 4 MHS a cappella groups, as well as groups from other schools. AP testing is currently ongoing, running May 2nd through May 13th at the high school. The junior class auction is running from May 4th to May 8th. The Marblehead Performing Arts is holding a fundraiser tonight at the Dolphin Yacht Club. Team Harmony and the Marblehead Racial Justice Team will host a Focus on Diversity presentation at Abbott Library on Monday, May 16th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. for anyone who's interested. May 20th is the annual Cultural Feast at MHS. The second annual Juneteenth flag raising will take place on Wednesday, June 8th at Abbott Hall at 5 and will include presentations from Marblehead Public School students. And for class news, the freshman class will have a spike ball tournament fundraiser on May 22nd. The sophomore class will be selling lawn signs for the class of 2022 starting tomorrow. For the junior class, our prom is next Friday, May 13th, and we will be selling shirts for Senior Sunrise soon. The senior class is also selling prom tickets, and the carnival this weekend is a super fun fundraiser for the freshman, sophomore, and junior classes. For sports, we had boys and girls lacrosse who played today, and girls will have a tennis match tomorrow.
Wonderful. That was quite a list of things that you had. Thank you very much, Yasin. Lots of great stuff.
Thank you so much.
All right, that leads us to public comment. If anybody would like to make a public comment, please use the raise hand function, and remember to state your name and address for the record, and we will have 3 minutes per person for public comments. We ask that you keep your remarks to that, and we will give a time shout out if you reach that 3 minutes. Steve? Oh, yes.
I can't.
I just. Hold on one moment, please. But Stephen, you co-host. All right. Okay, Nicole Cohen.
Hello. I'm glad that it sounds like Metco is a fun dinner. I'm glad that everyone seems to be enjoying themselves. I wanted to comment on last week's meeting that I watched. It was a very disturbing meeting, and I'm just going to go over 4 points that I have. One, listening to the members of the committee saying to, quote, be careful with their words when discussing the override. That really leads one to believe that you are not choosing to be honest with your words. Number two, members of the committee talking about discussing school policy at the Metco dinner. I think you were just not being clear, but you seem to indicate that there was going to be a violation of open law meetings. 3, the committee dismissed within seconds, sending out surveys to the public and to the teachers in regards to the superintendent's performance evaluation. Again, going with the be careful with your words and not seeking the public's input is very disturbing. Lastly, but not least, and perhaps most egregiously, was the first 5 minutes of the meeting in which during public comment, a member of the community went off on a rant in regards to accommodations received by a child who is a child of the student of the school committee and the services that they may or may not be receiving. As a parent, I am horrified that the school committee chair allowed this discussion of the students' accommodations and IEP to be aired during a public meeting that had nothing to do with the school committee, based solely on rumor. The chair and others in attendance should have shut down this discussion immediately, as it had nothing to do with school committee. And again, based solely on rumor. Instead, the chair allowed the rant to go on based again on rumor. It is deeply concerning that there appears to be only one member of the school committee who appears knowledgeable of the rules of conduct, while the rest appear willing to violate their duties. And that is my comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. And I do promise that we are always striving to do better. All right, I don't have any other hands raised, so that will.
Can I speak?
Oh, Cindy, yes, go ahead. I'm so sorry. I'm not used to a live audience. So if you'd like to come up there, and then Stephen will put the camera on, and your voice will be picked up by the speaker that's in front of you.
So, Cindy Bowen from Marblehead, 12 Trinity Road. I am a member of the Marblehead Racial Justice Team, and I am here because I've been one of the biggest supporters of Metco for a long, long time. And I just want to say it is incredibly touching, awesome that the school committee is finally here in Boston. Some came on the bus. I would like to have had all of you come on the bus. But I know some of you did. And so you have a taste of what our children go through every single morning. And I'm hoping that the school committee here today will continue in terms of not only promoting Metco, but also what we do in the district, how we treat our families from Boston, our students from Boston. And I also want to say that it's a pleasure to have an administration that is behind Metco, because that is one of the things that we haven't had for a bit. And I'm hoping the next thing that we get is an awesome Metco director who stays with us And then we eventually can get to 100 plus in terms of the students, as long as they want to come to Marblehead. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. Okay, now and nobody else, correct? Now that leads us to our superintendent report. Mr. Bauer, I am going to ask that we push you down a little bit so that we do have a couple of employees from METCO that would like to hear the METCO update and the DEI update from Nan and Julia. So if that's okay, Dan, I will have you speak after that, and I will go straight to Julia for the METCO update.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I can't start.
Let's start off.
Can I unmute or?
No, you don't need to unmute.
Okay.
The speaker in front of you will pick you up.
Hello, thank you. I'm Julia Ferreira, assistant principal at the middle school, as well as I'm filling in as the METCO lead coordinator. Thank you so much.
There we go. Now we can see Julia.
So first, I wanted to start with a lot of thank yous. I feel really grateful tonight being here. So I want to say thank you to John and Nan for asking me to fill this role. We've had some turnover this year, and I just really appreciate that you trusted me with this position. I also want to say thank you to the parents, because you've been amazing to work with, and thank you for all that you're doing to support us, for your flexibility and your patience this year. I also want to say thank you to Emily. Emily is the liaison for the school committee and for the METCO liaison. I appreciate we've had some time together. And also to our community supporters, thank you so much. And to Millie and to METCO Inc. So thank you so much. As of right now, we do have the METCO director position is posted. We, for next year, we will have 4 incoming students from Boston, and that will replace our 4 graduating seniors. We have a meet and greet signed up, scheduled very soon. That's going to hopefully will allow us to get even a few more families to commit to Marblehead. We have weekly METCO family meetings every Tuesday, and we get to be in person today. And this is the time where I want to thank Carla Rose and Lindsay Page. They've been extraordinary. So Carla is a village school teacher and is serving as the academic and social emotional coordinator for the elementary grades, and Lindsay at the high school. So thank you to Carla and Lindsay for stepping into that role and supporting our students. As you heard from Yasin, our cultural feast is scheduled for May 20th at 6 p.m. I just want to say thanks to Lindsay, David Anja, the seniors who are working on that for their senior project, as well as several 9th through 11th graders. We are creating summer success gift bags, and they're going to be distributed to the students before the last day of school. We have funding allocated to give our 4 graduating seniors some wonderful gifts as they go on and pursue their next adventure in life. And we are looking forward. We recently attended a meeting with DESE, and they're proposing for fiscal year 23 a base allocation funding model. And that's important because that's going to keep us level funded from fiscal year 22. Additionally, DESE is proposing changes to the application process, so we can hopefully encourage more applicants to apply to the METCO program. And I've been updating Emily and the superintendent as more information becomes available. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you, Julia. And thank you for stepping into that role and doing such a great job coordinating everything and working with our parents. And it's great that you're there.
Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate it.
And I think we always put a little plug, an additional plug for the cultural feast.
Yes.
Millie, we'd love to have you up for that. It's a fantastic evening. I heard that it's going to be even better than last year. And last year was amazing with talent and food trucks, and just it was really good last year. So
What's the date?
May 20th.
6 p.m. at the high school.
Just write that down, Diego.
Send you the flyer, Melanie.
Okay.
So, and to all of our audience that, we encourage everybody to attend that. It really is a fun event. Great showcase to the students. All right, Nan, I will invite you. And Nan is here to give us an update on our DEI initiatives.
All right. Well, this is. Okay. All right. Well, good evening. Again, Julia said it, but I'd like to echo all of the appreciation we have for our internal staff that has just really stepped forward to do the best for kids. And we do it every day, but when there's somebody that steps out of a role, to be able to have internal capacity with people with such generous and open hearts, it's, and doing what's right for kids is just says a lot about Marblehead staff. And I'm just so appreciative to everybody that I have the opportunity to work with. And I know Millie during dinner today was complimenting how well Marblehead has been moving forward with our METCO program. So thank you for that. So I just have a couple of quick updates regarding some of the work that our diversity, equity, and inclusion team has been doing. We are continuing to focus our work on the strategic objective that was established by our Plan for Success work. And just to remind the team, that work is all embedded around promoting equity and ensuring inclusion by acknowledging and embedding all forms of diversity throughout the district. So we have selected and aligned our professional development with the pre-K through 12 staff. And it's around Strategic Initiative 3.2, which is embed diversity, equity, inclusion in the mission, vision, core values, and training of our leadership teams, schools, and district. So it's been nice this year as this group had framed out what we wanted to accomplish when we started this work last year at this time. And to know now we're living our Plan for Success is exciting. So just to give you a brief outline of what that looks like, our staff, again, pre-K through 12, has been getting regular professional development throughout our Wednesday extended day professional development. And I'd like to just share the titles that have been created. So the professional development titles have been implicit bias, asking ourselves the hard questions, mirrors and windows, changing the narrative. We mid-year hosted our very first community forum with Henry Turner, talking about race and standing up to racism. Small changes, big impact, culturally responsive teaching. We have partnered with the Department of Student Service because the DEI is all about embedding good, effective practices around inclusion and access, and that's special education. And so we brought in a professional development professional around unlearning ableism through action and allyship. We also have coming up Beyond Heroes and Holidays, Surface and Shallow versus Deep Culture. And finally, in June, we'll wrap up our professional development with Putting It Together, planning with an anti-bias lens. So I'm really just proud of the District of Marblehead and the team that we have put together. Prior to the superintendent and I coming, I don't know of a path forward that we have been able to create that is as comprehensive and thoughtful as this. So I think to have been able to do this in such a short amount of time and in such a collaborative way with our DEI team, our members of teaching staff, leaders, and central office and school committee members, Emily's part of all of that work. So I just want to kind of give a shout out to our DEI team as well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dan.
That is a lengthy list of things that you guys have undertaken and the learning that you're doing, and that's really great.
It's good to hear all the different topics that that we're getting professional development. So thank you for.
And I just want on a final note, let everyone know that all of the professional development is grassroots grown. And this is work that the DEI team has done collaboratively. Oftentimes, Julia and I and other members of the DEI team are in a Google Doc share, and we are creating PowerPoints together for the following month. And so it really is, it's really a dedicated team that's bringing this forward.
Wonderful. Thank you to everybody who is doing that work. All right. Thank you both. So that will lead us to Principal Bauer. Dan, if you would like to unmute yourself and give us some updates on what's going on with our senior class.
Well, great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm envious. I wish I was down MECO headquarters with you. It looks like a wonderful setting.
Next time, you'll have to come with us.
We wish you were here too.
Well, I have to say that the plug for, oh boy.
All right, Dan, take it away.
Got it. Well, I have to second the plug for Cultural Feast. That's May 20th. I just sent the communication out to our community. I have to second the work from it's a student-led initiative. And several years ago when this came out, it really helped bring our community together. And the proud piece for me is that it is student-led. Dave Anja, who's a chemistry teacher, and assistant principal Lindsay Page have led the way, but really the students are doing the work. They're selling tickets. They have T-shirts and a banner coming. We'll have great food, great music and entertainment. It's a wonderful night. So anyway, and a lot of our students or seniors are involved with that, our Boston-based students. For senior updates, very coming upon us quickly. The end of the classes for seniors will be Friday, May 27th. However, that also marks the end of our senior project. We have over 150 seniors out in the community and about working on senior project. In fact, the Cultural Feast is a senior project for some of our seniors. And we're looking to do things a little differently this year with the presentation. Typically, we have a small group presentation where the student will talk what they accomplished during the senior project. But we're looking to have something broader and bigger so the community can come and see, as well as our students. More information will be coming out on that. We kick off senior week with Tuesday, May 31st. We're moving prom to Fenway Park. It's going to be an awesome event. Our senior advisors, Ms. Donaldson and Ms. Berkowitz, organized with our class officers, and it's going to be wonderful. The Red Sox are also playing the Cincinnati Reds that night, and it's bobblehead night for Kiki Hernandez. So hoping we can get a few of the bobbleheads. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have the red carpet again. We're working on details for that. The kids are going to have a wonderful time, and it's just going to be an awesome way to kick off senior week. They deserve it. Wow. And the next night, Wednesday, June 1st, will be scholarship night. We haven't had that since COVID. That will be held in the field house at 6:30 p.m. The wonderful thing about scholarship night is that we have donors that will come in and they present the scholarship awards to our seniors. So that adds context and depth. And it's just a proud moment for not only our seniors receiving the awards and their families, but the community, because generally speaking, the awards of scholarships are well over $250,000 plus. And to have that acknowledged that night. And we also print the scholarships in the program for graduation, but it's wonderful. 6:30 field house. So that won't conflict with school committee. We worked that out. On Thursday, June 2nd, will be the trip to Six Flags, a senior trip to Six Flags. I'm sure they're looking for chaperones for that, and I'm sure they'll welcome that, which is nice because they shifted from the main trip, which was a tough thing to get a lot of kids to go. But with Six Flags, we're hoping we get a lot of students to go. And then the big day, the finale of it all, is Friday, June 3rd. That's graduation day. We'll start the day with graduation rehearsal here at the high school on Piper Field at around 9 o'clock. They'll receive their caps and gowns. We're bringing back the senior walk. We get to the elementary schools and walk through. That's a great moment of pride. And then the big ceremony will be held on Piper Field at 6 o'clock, Friday, June 3rd. So we'll keep our fingers crossed for great weather. And looking forward to such a great event for our seniors. Looking forward to senior week, and we're very proud and hope to see you all at the events.
Thank you very much, Dan. Dr. Bucky, did you have something to add? I just thought I had
No, Dan covered it beautifully.
Okay, Megan, you got a question?
Yeah, can you just give us a few examples of some of the projects that are being done for senior project?
Sure. We have a number of our students that are working in the schools as teacher assistants, and that's actually a great way for students to see if they want to get involved with education as a possible career. We have them at pretty much every one of the schools. We have some students that are doing working with art. I have two that are working to see if they can revive the solar windmill here in our parking lot. So I'm hoping we can get that up and going by the end. If not, they'll have a way to fix it for the future. And we have a number of others that are working as interns just around the area in architecture, engineering and such. So it's a variety, a wealth of students. In addition, we have the seniors with Cultural Feast as well in the building. So, and we have Miss Berkowitz is very popular with culinary arts. We have a couple of students that are working with her, and I did receive lunch one day. They were sampling menus and items. So I've been the recipient of a few good lunches. So, and I have to say that Lindsay Page and Michelle Carlson, our assistant principals, they do an awesome job with the senior project. So the art show, the senior art show, medical offices, animal shelter, camp planning, social media marketing. Miss Page has been texting me this documentary of the senior project. Yeah, so she's keeping me informed, and I am very proud of their work and our seniors. And once we have more information about the actual day we're presenting, we're looking forward to inviting the community, the school committee, the select board, and all parents. It should be a lot of fun. So.
Sounds great. Thanks, Dan. I know there are any other two students who are working on something having to do with mental health as well. They reached out to me, so I have to reach back. And if it would make sense, I would, encourage them to come and present to us as some did last year too. So, cool. Yeah, great. So thank you, Dan.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Great updates. I'm really excited for that senior class. They deserve it.
They do.
Mhm. Thank you. All right, Dr. Bucky, fill us in on additional district updates.
So I've been told that it's the worst kept secret in Marblehead, but the Lucretia and Joseph Brown has a new principal. And after a comprehensive search process, I'm pleased to announce that Ms. Mary Maxfield has been named the new principal. She has extensive experience as an elementary school leader. She has been serving as the principal of Barrington Elementary School in Barrington, New Hampshire for the last 15 years. Under her leadership, Barrington Elementary was named New Hampshire Elementary School of the Year.
Wow.
Prior to being principal, Ms. Maxfield was an elementary school classroom teacher for 13 years, which was very important to our search committee. She's also an elementary school counselor and an assistant principal for 7 years. She has an associate's degree in recreation and leadership management from Colby Sawyer, a Bachelor of Science degree in elementary education from Keene State. She also has her master's in counseling from Keene State and her principal certification from Plymouth State. In case anyone is asking, she is certified in both New Hampshire and Massachusetts. I just want to read a little something from her application. This will all go out in my Friday message tomorrow. In her application, Mary shared, quote, she believes strongly in the art of collaboration. She believes strongly that the art of collaboration makes good things happen. Additionally, she noted that, quote, respecting all stakeholders and inviting them to the table is critical for the successful implementation of any initiative. Mary was well received by both parents and staff during her day in the district, with representatives from both groups sharing they were impressed by her experience, energy, and enthusiasm. Mary has family in Marblehead and is looking forward to joining our learning community and the Marblehead Public Schools. I'll host a superintendent coffee with Mary at the Brown School before the end of the year. So
Wonderful.
exciting news about
Very
the Lucretia and Joseph Brown School.
Very exciting. That's it. So sorry.
I don't know of any other
All
updates.
right, great. That is quite an update. Wonderful. Thank you so much. And as the school committee person on that search, Mary was a really wonderful candidate. We had a lot of great candidates, and I'm pleased that she has risen to the top. She was a very warm person, and I think, anybody who has the chance to meet her coming up will feel the same way. And Monique, you were on that committee too, and shaking your head. So it's really exciting that spot is filled and everything is moving forward there. All right, so that leads us to our school committee discussion part of the evening. And first up, we have, again, on our list is the Metropolitan Council for Educational Opportunity, or METCO, the parent representative process. And so we had talked a bit about that last week. We were posted for dinner, and so we had a bit of conversation with some of the parents who joined us on sort of, what makes a successful METCO program and what maybe they would like to see in a representative and how that they would like to see that structured. Emily, I'll turn it over to you to give a little bit of an update too. I think you've got a few next steps that might be kind of coming within that.
So I think Megan is going to meet with Monique, right? I overheard you talking to discuss.
Feel free to jump in.
I think Megan,
Do you mind?
she is, yes, no, go.
I think, and again, we had like a very, we were enjoying a very lovely dinner. So, I mean, it was just not an in-depth conversation at all. But I think my takeaway from it is that this might require a little bit more discussion, really, with like a group of, definitely with Monique and with a group of parents to really think through like how this might all work so that it's effective, but also a useful experience for our Boston parents. So, that would be my recommendation at the moment to have that conversation first before we go any further.
Great. And is that something that it sounded like maybe you and Monique are going to follow up and sort of next steps and get back to the committee?
Now we can figure that out.
All right, great. And thank you. Thank you, the parents who joined us here tonight and had dinner with us and are participating in that conversation. And we welcome, anybody who wants to participate. So it's well appreciated. So that's great. All right. Easy update. Yes, I was just going to say I haven't asked anybody who's not with us in person. So Sarah, go ahead.
So I would just ask, can we maybe put this as a piece on our summer retreat? Because I would like to also work with our MASC rep to see how this is working in other districts, and maybe even invite someone to come from METCO to join our discussion, so we can kind of get a little more into the meat of what it looks like. It might be a bigger conversation than we can plug into one of our meetings here. And that way we can have whatever we're going to do in place for the beginning of the school year.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. And I appreciate the MASC suggestion, because that would be, I know we looked at Bedford's policy, and I think there was one, maybe Lincoln had one as well. So I can reach out to Dorothy and invite her to weigh in on all of this as well. And the summer retreat certainly seems like a good place for that to go.
Through the chair.
Absolutely.
I have reached out to Phil Conrad, who is the superintendent in Bedford, because they were pioneers in this work. So maybe he and Millie could both join for the retreat or this part of the conversation, because I think they've done some nice work.
Yeah, Bedford is very new to this. Weston has been doing it for a long time. Lincoln has been doing it for a very long time. And Concord Carlisle just opened up. It's actually negotiating the seats as well.
Oh, great.
Our families cannot see Monique dancing.
Yeah.
All right, wonderful. That's great. So John, maybe you can follow up with some of those. I wrote them down too. So you can follow up with some of those superintendents as well. All right, wonderful. We are just
Subcommittee.
trucking right through our agenda this evening. And so that moves us to our subcommittee and liaison updates. I'm not sure. I think we've been in full town meeting mode for much of the last few weeks. So I'm not sure that anybody has met, but are there any updates from anybody?
Do you want a budget update?
Sure. Take it away with the budget update, actually.
Our request for a increase to our operating budget was passed at town meeting. So moving on to the ballot in June.
Yes. Yep. And so we will be looking forward to, and I did not have it on our agenda, but I will bring up in very shortly in new business, the discussion around scheduling some forums that we had talked about last week. So we can get those in the books and moving forward towards those. Any other subcommittee or liaison updates? Okay. All right, so that pushes us into new business. And because town meeting was just on Tuesday evening, I did not put this as an agenda item. So we will put it here and then be able to communicate out what dates our forums will be in. I will work with Stephen to make them, or at least least one of them, hopefully all of them, available via Zoom as well, so that there can be remote public participation. But so I was talking with John as we were waiting for the bus earlier, and we were coming up with a few dates to just kind of put out to the committee. I was thinking 3 forums, 2 evening forums and 1 morning forum. So the 2 dates that I sort of, as I was looking at the calendar, trying to allow us time to really sort of streamline everything and make sure that we've got a bit of feedback and questions from the community, that are June 8th and then June 14th. The 14th, I was looking at, so the 14th is a Tuesday and the 8th is the Wednesday. The other thought on that week with the 14th in it is that we do have a school committee meeting on the 16th. So if we wanted to put a forum before the school committee meeting, we could do that, but then it would obviously be a little bit earlier. So depending on the time, if we really thought that it was important to keep a 7 o'clock, or if we thought that a 6:30 forum would be a good idea, again, especially if it backed up to a school committee meeting. And then the morning forum I was looking at is back in May. So in a couple of weeks, either Thursday, the 26th or Tuesday, the 24th. I think it probably best to avoid the week of the 30th, which starts with the Memorial Day holiday and ends with high school graduation. So as Dan just highlighted, there's a bunch going on that week. I think, although this is not all about parents, we probably will pick up quite a few parents in these forums. So that just seemed like a week that's probably very busy, particularly for some of our administrators as well. And that probably best avoided if we can.
You said the 24th and the 26th?
So the 24th or the 26th, yes, as the morning date is what I was thinking. But again, I'll open it up for discussion. I just kind of wanted to put some ideas out there and what people thought.
Sarah, so we have a Wednesday night, a Tuesday night, and then we're looking at another Tuesday. Would you mind if we looked at another day of the week? I just know that some people kind of work schedule is day dependent. So I think the more different days of the week we can give, we've really just we have done everything possible to hit every demographic we can.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
If maybe a Monday, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe June 13th and avoid my birthday.
June 13th.
But what a
Monday.
gift.
Monday, June. Yes, that would be yes, we should avoid your birthday then, especially for one of the evening meetings. Yeah, we can do in a Monday evening. That would work. Monday, June 13th.
Okay. Or was that the day one?
So that was the night one. The day one I had was either the Tuesday, the 24th, or Thursday, the 26th. So we got a Monday right now. If we stick with June 8th, that's a Wednesday. And I'm fine avoiding a Thursday. We can avoid a Thursday because all of our meetings are on a Thursday. And if somebody can't make our meetings on a Thursday, then it makes it hard for them to make a meeting, one of these forums as well. So we could do Tuesday, the 24th.
Yeah. So let's do Tuesday, the 24th.
And that's the morning one.
Yep.
Wednesday, June 8th. What was it? 7 p.m. And then Monday, June 13th at 7 p.m.
Yes.
Great.
Do you want?
Yeah. Okay. So hold on, David. I'll go to you after. Megan was just asking a question. The expectation for the school committee, do we want everybody? I'm happy to post these. I mean, we're talking budget, or we can simply do 2 and go from there and not have to post.
Okay.
I guess my preference.
I think we should
have us all there.
Yeah, I think we should post for 2 reasons. The more of us that can go and answer questions, I think the better. But also, if it's posted, it's just one more place that notifies people, and for them to go look to get information. The more places we post the information, the better, I think.
Yep.
So I did.
Yep. Go ahead, David.
Good evening through the chair. Good evening, everybody. I wish I could have been there tonight. I had a little bit of a issue come up this evening, and I missed the event. So glad we could thank you to everybody at Metco for hosting us, and I'm sure it's been a great night. And thank you for those dates. The Tuesday in May works better. My day job commencement is on the 26th, so that's great. We just need to, if we're all in agreement, then we just need to if we're going to post it, we need to make sure we have a quorum. I wouldn't want the meeting to fall short if only 2 of us could attend.
Yeah.
For some reason, but if you email those dates around, I'll certainly make every effort to appear at all those dates and events.
And we won't post until we get a little closer to those dates as well. So we can sort of refine that as we, and make sure that we have a quorum that's able to come. I know I believe I can make all of those dates. So I think we'll be able to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And then Sarah, if we can also make it, far away from drop off or pickup times so that parents who are getting little ones places can, so because we want to make it as available to people as possible, but also, can we post those for say like 9 a.m.?
Yeah,
it's day one.
That was going to be my next question, is the morning one. 9 a.m. works?
As someone who carts many, many kids, if I can make it, usually people can make it work.
Absolutely. All right. And then that one might be the one where we could struggle to get a quorum just because of people's work schedule. So we'll just keep a close eye on that as far as how we can post it. But we'll definitely, everybody will as always do their best. Okay. All right, great.
Through the chair.
Yes.
Can I just get a sense of the committee's expectation of the superintendent and the leadership team for these? Would you like for people to be present? I have found it very, very effective at school committee meetings when there is a question about special education for Dr. Donnelly to address that, or if there's a question about a particular ask at the high school for Principal Bauer to be able to answer that. I certainly have facility to answer them, but I think hearing from our leaders, but I didn't know the format that the forums were going to take.
Yeah, no, and I think that would be really useful. I think it has been very helpful in our meetings to have our administrators and our leaders on hand to answer those types of questions. And then I think, we'll have to just do a bit of work, maybe using some of your old PowerPoints that have gone through various presentations, and then, although the one for town meeting was quite short, taking some of that and taking some of the info that we relayed at town meeting and kind of combining that. I'm happy to work with you if somebody else wants to work with you on kind of creating that presentation. I think, if the first one is until the 24th, we've got time to be able to really tighten that up and make it good. And then that gives us time too, because we'll have the meeting on the 16th, that we could possibly talk about input and kind of refining it through what the committee would like as well. And if anybody has thoughts, I would encourage them to send them to Dr. Bucky, so that we're not kind of trading emails and get ourselves into trouble. Send them to you, and then you can kind of keep track of them. And if it's myself or whoever else wants to work on the PowerPoint.
One thing I would say we learned when we were presenting the building, which is to make this all like a living document. So, when we go on the 24th, people may present questions that we might not have realized people really want an answer to. And just as long as we kind of keep that rolling of asking people, is there something we didn't tell you that you think would be helpful, and just keep building on that. I think it's important.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it'll give us time, if there's any things in public comment or questions that come into us from the public, or that, that sort of murmurs that we're hearing through the community or from other leaders in the community, we can obviously look to get all of those in as well. Does anybody, I'm happy to work with Dr. Bucky on putting this presentation together to get you guys some more information for where are we at? The 16th. Unless anybody else really has a real
go for it.
burning desire to put together another PowerPoint presentation. All right.
I just have another question. You know how I love to extend a meeting, so.
Come on, John.
They said you were the guy who's gonna make it quick.
He's being sarcastic.
When you presented the building project and you did kind of the road shows, the question, I've been getting a couple questions for people wondering if things can be added at this point, or can this come out? And I think we need to address that publicly, that the forums are not really intended to say, oh, can we add this to the request, because it has been voted at town meeting and there is a set figure and it can't be added to or subtracted from. And I think that that's important in setting these up.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I had that in a note because you had said that to me earlier. So sorry, I forgot that. But that, yes, that for the community, and we will definitely make that clear at these forums, that we cannot add or subtract from this ask at this point, that our ask is our ask. It's been approved at town meeting. It goes to the ballot. And now our job is to explain it and educate people throughout the community on it, even more than we've already tried to do. So we're not doing any kind of developmental forums. These are educational forums.
Just as a point of order on that, yes, it's definitely educational, and yes, that finite number is finite, but just for clarification, as far as Mass General Law goes, school committees are very unique in that we do have line item autonomy. So
Absolutely.
that number is complete, but what is it, how we utilize that number, we do have line item autonomy. I'm not saying we're moving that, and I don't want anybody to think we do, but I just want to be clear that that is under Mass General Law, how this works.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Sarah. All right, well, John and I will get to work on yet another PowerPoint. Have fun with that. Yeah. And that moves us to correspondence. I believe Lisa dropped the correspondence that came in very late, I guess kind of mid-afternoon to this afternoon. Gary Spees, the moderator, the town meeting moderator, he's also in charge of appointing the Essex Tech school committee rep. And so he had given us a letter recommending I'm going to blank on his name, Stroud, correct? Mark, thank you. Mark, again, so at our next meeting, we will just take a formal vote of approval for that, just to kind of recognize Mark's work and Gary's wishes, and then be able to do that. And then John, you had a piece of correspondence come in late that we're going to kind of set to work on for our next meeting, hopefully as well.
Yes, I did. The Glover School is wanting to put together a group to perhaps do a naming piece for Burgano. And so their principal had emailed me that. So I'll work with him to get something to bring to the committee.
Great. And I think all of us know, because of the naming of the school, that naming of any areas, buildings does have to go through school committee for our approval. So yeah, whatever you need us to do as you work through that plan. All right, I don't think there were any other correspondence that came in. So record time tonight, guys.
We are coming here more often.
Yes, we're not every meeting here. I will adjourn us at 7:49 p.m. Thank you, everyone.
That was wonderful.
Wow. All right. Have a great night.